My name is Dr. Rose M. I am a guidance and counseling consultant, and you're welcome to the Save Happy Life channel. We are on a drug user and abuser discussion or series, and you're welcome to yet another episode on the same. We have looked at the impact and the grieving process, as well as coping skills of family members who have a drug user or a drug abuser living within the family. Schools have closed in Kenya, and I would want to address still the topic of drugs, but this time thinking about our high school students and also primary school students. They have closed for yet another very long holiday, 2 months, and it is just important. So I thought to discuss about the subtle signs, the quiet signs that would alert a parent to the fact that their child could be getting into drugs or could be using drugs. This is, of course, informed by the statistics that according to the National Protocol for Treatment of Substance Use Disorders in Kenya, done by the Ministry of Health in 2017, states that or indicates that more than half of the drug users are aged between 10 and 19 years. So you realize my interest in the high schooler as far as drugs issue is concerned. You may argue as a parent that this does not concern me. After all, my child is not using drugs. You have brought up your child well. But truth be told, that what can happen or what has happened in your neighbor's house can also happen to your house. So you better be informed so that you're forearmed rather than be sorry. And I will go through a list of behavioral or signs or symptoms that may be an indicator that should set your mind thinking as a parent if you notice some of these signs that I'm going to mention. And the signs are divided into 3. We shall look at the physical appearance of the person or of the child, the behavioral changes, and also item indicators that could tell you that as a parent your child could be into drugs or getting into drugs, so that you nip it at the bud. We start with the physical appearance. These ones are quite well known. You may have a child coming home with bloodshot eyes, puffy eyes, dehydrated skin, a skin that lacks tone, color, that looks not very healthy, dilated pupils. When you look inside the eye, you realize that the pupils are dilated. It's an indicator that they could be on stimulant drugs. And then the opposite, pinpoint pupils. That means the black center of the eye becomes constricted and it appears more than normal. That means that person could be on sedative drugs. Then there is number 6, Nesta Nystagmus, which is an involuntary rhythmic side-to-side, up and down, or circular movement of the eyes that occurs. And this one is not easy to notice, because unless somebody carefully looks at the eye from the side, it is not easy to see it from the front. Normally, doctors will be able to tell quickly. Then number 7, they may have slurred speech that is a bit slow. than normal, or the opposite, frantic speech, like they have swallowed a tape. They want to talk. Then there is number 8, sniffling. This business of like they have serious colds. They keep sniffling the nose, and like if it's not a cold, like they have a problem with sinuses, and they do not have a history of allergy, and they do not have a cold. If you see a child doing that, be curious. Then either weight loss or weight gain. These are some of the physical appearances that you may notice. I am not saying that they all indicate drug use or abuse. They could be indicators of other things, but as a parent, you know your child very well, and it is up to you to put 1 + 2 + 3 + 5 and see if it's making sense. If it's not, be curious to know what could be the issue. Then we go to the behavioral. This is how the child behaves. They may have lowered grooming habits. For example, a child who was used to being clean and making their bed, keeping a neat living area or their bedroom, they become suddenly slump. They are not as neat as they used or as you know them to be. Then they may develop a funny habit, like a persistent itchy nose. You know, a nose, they keep scratching, and there is nothing physiological on the nose that could be causing the itch, or even just the arm. It is just an subconscious or unconscious behavior they develop. Then attempts to hide or cover some areas. For example, they may want to be wearing long-sleeved clothes so that they cover the fingers, the nails, so that because when somebody, for example, is smoking, the nails that sniff for the cigarette or the banjo roll, they tend to get a different color. So they want to hide that. Or they wear lipstick, if they are girls, to cover the darkening lips. Number 4, or D, they tend to reorganize or deprioritize or defer personal schedules. A child who you knew that when they come from school, the first thing they will do, if they close on Friday, they will wash their clothes on Monday or Saturday. Then they'll start on their homework. They start deferring these duties. They start deprioritizing what was of great importance to be attended to. E, changes in sleep pattern, either too much or too little, or different schedules. Sleep in the afternoon or sleep in the morning, lack sleep at night, different sleep patterns. Then they also change friends and associates, and they delink from the ones that you know and you admire as role models or as good friends. They start delinking from them slowly, and you hear less and less of the ones you know being mentioned in their discussions. Then they also get, when they change these friends, they get into a selective new network. They visit somebody who is known by the name my friend, my classmate, or just somebody known to me, but they do not tell you exactly who it is, and they do not even tell you the location where this person lives. So they start getting into a secretive or a very protected network of friends. Then they also get strained as they enmesh themselves with this new network. They start losing the old networks, for example, of relatives who are friendly, who you would count on as their friends, they start detaching themselves and they get strained relationships with the relatives. And relatives may include brothers and sisters, may include even yourself as a parent. Then the other thing they do is that they have difficulties following instructions. For example, if they are told that in this house you must be at home every day by 6 p.m., they have trouble following that because they have the other part that is pulling them out, and they have to spend more time out, and thus they are unable to balance your instructions as a parent and the instructions or the wishes of their new networks. They're even unable to complete something simple like medication. They're unable to complete a 5-day dose of an antibiotic. You find them taking 3 days and the rest of the dose is thrown away. So they also have a change in rewarding activities. A child you knew would be very happy attending the church or attending a church choir, being an active member of the youth, being an active swimmer, being a good footballer. You find them getting less and less satisfied with those activities that are known to you. This means that reward system that they used to get in the brain after singing in church, after swimming, after playing football is being replaced by something else. The brain is still asking for a reward, a feel-good moment, but that feel-good moment can no longer be satisfied by football, by choir, by swimming, but something else. You should ask yourself as a parent, what is this something else that is making that is taking the place of what you knew as activities done by your son or by your daughter? The other thing is inability to handle emotions, audacity to talk back at you. A child who was respectful, they throw words back to you. And this also comes with aggression. A child who you have never known to slap another, they start fighting the others, or they even want to attempt to fight you as a parent. So this inability to handle emotions or talking back to the seniors, this show of aggression should cause concern to you as a parent. What could be triggering it? Then they also have manic and depressive mood swings. At times they are very happy, maybe when they have taken the drug, and then when the drug drops, they become moody. They become paranoid, especially if they have taken bangi. They don't want to look up. They cannot face you as you look when you're talking with them. They want to look down. They walk down the street when they're facing down, looking at the tarmac or looking at the path where they're walking. Or if they are taking the other form of drugs like alcohol, they become invincible. They develop some loudiness. They start looking like they are the strongest. They feel they are the strongest, the loudest. They develop an invisible kind of attitude. If that is not the character of your child, you need to be concerned about the change. The other one is they have a tendency to become isolated. They want to lock themselves in their bedroom for long moments. And then the other thing that you may notice is excessive use of colognes or perfumes. This means that when they're using a lot of perfume, there is something they're trying to hide. There is a new smell that they are trying to camouflage. You should be curious. The other thing you may want to really find out, if you find a sugar water solution in their bedroom, that is a bad sign that they must be in drugs of one form or another that inhibits their eating habits, and therefore they lack the energy, and the only quick energy they can get is to run for a sugar solution. Or you find unfinished food in the bedroom. That one is another question mark. Children in this age have very healthy appetite, and if you find one that is unable to finish food and you're sure they had not eaten anything else and they are not sick, that is reason to be concerned or to be worried about. And then they develop strange habits. In the evening, when the family is like going to bed or just maybe about to go to bed, or after the family has gone to bed, you find them walking out just to be outside the house. What do they go out there to do? It is either to smoke, to sniff, or to drink something away from the family members who may notice or who may see them doing it. So if you see that habit, or they develop into habit of using the toilet outside, and this is a child who has never wanted to use the toilet that is outside the house, these are question marks, especially if you're living in the area where everything is within the house and have no reason whatsoever to want to go out, especially in the evening. They may be going out to get their dose for the night. And the other thing is when they walk inside the house, they, instead of blending or joining the rest of the family at the sitting room or in the kitchen, they go straight to their bedroom. What is it that they want to first of all get into the bedroom to put or to keep there, and then later on join the rest of the family? That walking into the bedroom and staying there for a while and then coming out is not a good sign, especially if this has not been their habit. They also develop inability to account for money. Even if it is 5 shillings, even if it is 20 shillings, they are unable to account for the money. And they develop interest in small monies, 5 shillings, 10 shillings, 20 shillings. When you find your child getting interested in these small bills, then ask yourself, what is it that they want to buy with these small bills? Remember, one roll of bangi may be 10 shillings, maybe 20 shillings, maybe 50 shillings, depending on the quality and the demand and supply forces in the market. The child also develops a habit of telling untruths. You find them, they become professional liars. They keep weaving a lie here and there. And now we look at items or paraphernalia, I may call them, indicators, item indicators that could tell you that your child could be in drugs. One, if you notice that either their beddings or their clothes have burnt holes, like those holes of cigarettes, on their beddings, on their towels, on their shoes, on their curtains, be worried. What is this? What fire is this that went to the bedroom and burnt a hole on the bed cover or on the duvet? It cannot be anything else. I am sure parents will agree with me. Then if you find matchsticks, matchboxes, whether they are used or not, lighters in their bedroom, that one is an outright answer that there is something else that is lit in your house or lit in that house other than the stove that is used in the kitchen. The other paraphernalia that you are likely to find is rolled papers or small bottles with this cooking foil. You know, the foil that we use in the kitchen? Then it is folded in some funny way. They use this for vaping. Vaping is mixing the drug with water, with hot water, and they sniff the steam. So if you find pieces of foil, the kitchen foil in their bedroom, be worried. Want to know what exactly those pieces of your kitchen foil could be doing in their bedroom. The other thing is, of course, syringes, if they are not practicing nurses or doctors. Syringes, cotton swabs, spill it. That one is they also indicate something else. Maybe they are already using the drugs, the injectable drugs. The other thing that you may find in their room, and it's a telltale sign, are burnt spoons, burnt bottle tops, and pieces of straw. They use the spoon, the normal spoon, the normal tablespoon. They put the drug here, and then they light some fire below it, and they sniff what comes out of that of the drug. What as it burns, what comes out. Then if you find blades and cutting surfaces, scratches on cutting surfaces, for example, if it is a table, you find it has those fine lines of something that more or less like a chopping board. Be worried. What would they be slicing on this surface? Maybe their desk in the room, or any other surface that may be in the room. It may even be a piece of board that is in their room. What is this that they slice? And of course, when you find blades or laser blades that do not make sense, you should be worried. You may also find eye drops bottles with or without the eye drops. And this child does not have a history of getting sick or having sick eyes. It could be that they use the eye drops to clear the eyes after they have taken the drugs. Prescription drug wrappers and bottles, be keen to know what could these prescription drugs be, because some of these children are not on the bangi and the cocaine and the heroin drugs, but they are also addicted to some prescription drugs. So if you keep seeing drugs that you cannot understand, or you do not know the origin of, or you are not able to explain to yourself, or they are not able to explain to you, be worried and be concerned. And of course, the final one is if you actually find the drug itself, finding rolls of bangi, finding bottles of alcohol, finding cigarettes, and these may be hidden, truly hidden in their room, all put out of sight in an open place. What do I mean? That you may find a bag that is open in their room. Of course, by the fact that the bag is open, they know that you will think that there is nothing important there. But when you open, when you remove the clothes or put up the clothes aside, that's when you find the bangi and the other things that they may be using. So they may use that trick of it's open, so there isn't really anything, but what is inside there may shock you. So as parents, let us be vigilant, because we have said time and again, we are not giving up on our children, particularly when they are still below the age of 24 years, because their brains are still forming, and we really want to help them form their brains in the correct way, with the correct behavior in the correct environment. And in the next episode, we shall explore the stages of addiction that determine if the drug user is ready for help. Not all drug users are ready for help. You may want to help a drug user, your child who is a drug user, your spouse who is a drug user, your brother, your sister, your cousin. But the stage at which they are, they may not be ready for help. And we shall explore that in our next episode. And that means that make a date with me on Tuesday at 8 p.m. East Africa time, so that we explore the stages that determine if a drug user is ready for help. Thank you for being with me to the end, and please share, please subscribe, and God bless you. Bye-bye.